Hello, my name is Annette DeLu, and you are listening to The Heart of You. If you are interested in working with me in person, you now have the opportunity with Soul Discovery Workshop. We will spend 2 days discovering your spiritual gifts, unlocking your abilities to channel, to really tap into your intuition, to meet your guides and your angelic team, as well as diving in to the Akashic records. If you are interested and you are in the Huntington Beach, LA area, or even if you're not and you feel like taking a short trip, please head to my website at infinitesoullove.com and you can head to the store. Right there, you will find the Soul Discovery Workshop, which is September 16th and 17th, 2023. Today's channeled message is about revelations in who you really are. We often spend so much of our lifetime trying to define who we are. And oftentimes that definition results in things, material things, or hobbies, or things that we like, our preferences. And that can look like a great many things. So let's say, for example, in your childhood, you really, really liked the color purple. And you held on to that for your entire life. Is it because you just haven't questioned it? Is it because you haven't opened and allowed other colors to come into your life? There are so many of these aspects that permeate through your experience. For example, if you are holding on tight to one thing, it becomes very, very difficult to stay open to having another. So the way that we would like to describe this to you today is in a way that will allow you to move more effortlessly through your experience. So if you can imagine an object, so let's say it is an object that you really, really love. It is an object that you love because of the memory or because of what it represents. And imagine that you're holding it in your hand. And then imagine being able to put it down and let it go. This concept has been utilized in a lot of your decluttering concepts, a lot of the Marie Kondo type of philosophies and ways of living. But it is much more than that. It is not about letting go of objects and never picking them up again. It can sometimes be about letting go of something and being able to pick it up again and assess whether or not it is something that you want to keep in your life or not. And you can do this for every single aspect of your life. You can do this regarding hobbies, regarding jobs, friends, even belief systems that you have. This is the process of moving through your experience to become more of who you are in this moment. It's about being who you are in this moment versus being who you were 10 days ago, 5 days ago, 3 years ago, 20 years ago. Oftentimes you spend so much time trying to become who you used to be when what lies before you is who you are going to become and how you are going to find that resonance with who you are going to be. It's not about moving backwards or sideways or forwards. It is simply about being exactly who you are in any given moment. It's about being truly authentic with who you are in any given moment. So if in one moment you really love anime, which is something that Annette very much enjoys from time to time, But there are times where she doesn't enjoy it, where she would prefer to do something else, and that's okay. Is that a definition of who she is, that she really likes anime, that is something that defines her? It doesn't have to be. What it can be is it can be just a small chapter in your book. It could be a chapter that you revisit and you reread over and over again, but it still does not define you. It is simply a preference. It is simply a way in which you are moving through life, a way in which you are finding joy in your life. So we encourage you to take stock of all of the things that you have in your life, in your home, in your relationships, and ask yourself, is this truly 100% me right now in this moment? Now, that doesn't mean that you have to throw out everything because it's not 100% you right now in this moment. What that means is simply that right now in this moment, you are energetically gravitating towards something else, and that's okay. And that might pass like a wave, and it might come back again. It might come back again in 10 minutes. It might come back again in 10 years. It actually doesn't matter. But what you can do is you can look within yourself and say, I see you. I know you. I know who you are because I feel you. I feel everything about this experience in this human body. And therefore, I know what my path is and I know the direction that I am going. And if I don't know the direction that I'm going at this very moment, that's okay too. Let go of these things you hold so tight. You gather them like they are part of you, and they are not. They are part of your experience, but they are not part of who you are. Who you are is somebody so much more great and vast than just a small object or a small preference or something you like to do. Who you are is so much more important than any of these things, these earthly things that you use to either bring yourself joy or pass the time or distract yourself. That is another good thing we will encourage you to do. Take a look at each one of these things in your life and ask, is it serving me? Is it something that is bringing me joy in this moment? Is it something that is bringing me joy to serve as a distraction from what I am meant to do? There are times when we are meant to do things that are not pleasant. We are meant to dive into that shadow. We are meant to take a look at those things that we don't want to look at within ourselves. And in order to avoid that, we will simply go into joy or find things that make us joyful so we can forget and so we don't have to deal with them or look at them. So we encourage you to look at every little piece of your life, every little preference or hobby or anything that you do through the eyes of your own soul and ask yourself, is this something that you really, truly want in your life at this very moment? And if it's not, you can take a moment and just energetically let it go. This is part of duality. I like this. I do not like that. I prefer this. I do not prefer that. This is where that duality comes in. And oftentimes you do hold on to those things that you prefer or that you like, and you push away the things that you don't like. And that is part of that energetic resistance to that darkness, to those shadows that you hold within yourself. So think about some of the things that you really don't like or that you prefer not to do. What is the reason why you don't like those things or you prefer not to do those things? Is it because you're too energetically sensitive and you don't like going out into big crowds? Well, then it's time to look within and ask yourself, what is it that I need to do? Do I need to be out in big crowds? Maybe the answer is no. And maybe it's okay for you not to prefer to be out in big crowds. But when it starts preventing you from doing things that you truly want to do, so let's say you really want to go to a museum, but there's too many crowds, so you decide not to go because you feel that the experience will be too much or too overwhelming for you. What is it that you can do in order to still fulfill that desire without being overwhelmed by the crowds? You can decide to go maybe during the day where there won't be such a big crowd, or you can put up that beautiful bubble of divine light protection around you so the energies aren't so harsh. You can do a great many things to be able to fit these beautiful desires into your life. Don't look at things as absolutes in terms of, I do want to do this, I don't want to do that because that's good, that's bad. Quantifying anything as negative or positive is part of that duality, and that is part of what we are trying to transcend at this time. So looking at yourself and how you show up in the world, allow yourself to be fluid. Allow yourself to pick up things that you love and put them down, and pick up things that maybe you don't love and put them down. Allow yourself to experience, allow yourself to live and be and love and learn. This is part of the experience. So let go of what is in your past. Let go of who you think you are. Let go of what others think you are. You have curated and cultivated this version of yourself so you can present it to the world, and so people will accept you, love you, make you feel good, make them think that you are worthy, make them think that you are someone who is on top of their game. Release all of that. Start today as day one to start curating you the way that you want to, not the way that others want you to. Start curating the things that you want to do, the life that you want to live, and everything in between. You know in your heart what is aligned and what isn't. And if you don't, your emotions will tell you. Lower or negative emotions are there as a helper to tell you that something is not right in your energetic field. Use it. Use it to know that either you need to dig deeper into that shadow, or that you need to release it and let it go and move on to new energy. This is part of this beautiful discovering of who you are and getting to know the soul that is you. Is there anything else for today? No. Okay. Can you tell me who this is? Yes. Liberty. Yes. Archaea Liberty. Okay. So this is Archaea Liberty. This was a channel from Archaea Liberty. And if you would like to know about the female archangels, feel free to head to the podcast episode with Callista. And she is the absolute expert on all of the female archangels. I want to address something about this channel that is quite personal to me, because this is something that I really struggled with when I was going through the biggest shift and transition in my spiritual awakening, is defining, like, what are the things that I like? What are the things that I don't like? And who am I? Who exactly am I? Now that I'm transitioning into a new career, because before, when I was a designer, like, I had known that I wanted to be a designer since I was 5. That defined me. And I had to let that go. I had to let go of that part of me. And there were things that I used to really love to do that I no longer love to do anymore. So why am I continuing to do them? So I was able to let those things go. It is really about reassessing things at any given moment and really checking in. And that's what the practice of mindfulness and meditation is all about, is really checking in with yourself to discover what it is you truly want in this moment. And ask yourself, what is aligned for me? in this particular moment, as opposed to just doing things on autopilot like, oh, yes, I like going to museums, so I'm going to go to this museum this weekend. Or, oh, yes, I love movies, so I'm going to go to this movie this weekend. Or, yes, I have to go to the gym, so I'm going to go to the gym every Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday. Like whatever days you have laid out for you in a schedule, take a look at them, feel into it. Are those the right days to go to the gym? They might be. But then maybe feel into it and say, okay, maybe I don't need so much of a schedule or a routine. Maybe I just check in with my body and ask my body, am I aligned with going to the gym today? Maybe you're not. Maybe you want to go take a walk. Maybe you want to go for a bike ride. Maybe you want to do other things. It's about that with everything. And sometimes it can be scary, but sometimes it can be so opening for your heart. Because you realize that, wow, I can do anything right now. I can do literally anything. I don't have to do the things that I have told myself that I must do every single day. Or I don't have to like the same things that I liked yesterday. I can try new things. I can do new things. So really think about that expansion and what that means for your heart space, for your heart chakra. Think about your sacral chakra and what lights you up in that creative space. And creative space doesn't necessarily mean artistic anything. Creative space is manifestation. That is, what am I creating in my life right now? I'm creating more joy. I'm creating more opportunities to do the things that I love to do. I'm creating more opportunities to bring in more people that I can experience joy with. All of these experiences that we have, we are creating. We are creating every single day, whether you realize it or not. So write down a few things. This is a little bit of the homework portion for this channel. Write down a few things that you really have loved your whole life. Those things that you feel define you. Write them down and ask yourself, does this particular thing define me? Do I still really like this thing? Do I love this thing? Or is it something that I need to let go of for now? Really dive deep into your heart space and ask yourself that question. This is a heart space exercise. This isn't a mental exercise, as most spiritual exercises are in the heart space. The brain definitely has a place. The ego definitely has a place, but we can let that rest for now. And we can drop down in to the heart space and ask your heart, who am I today? Have an amazing day and never stop exploring your soul, because it is the most important relationship you will ever have. If you are interested in learning more about me and the sessions that I do, feel free to go to my website at infinitesoullove.com. On all social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Infinite Soul Love 1111. Hey, and if you feel called, I would love it if you could rate The Heart of You on whatever streaming service you're using, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Please take a moment, give it a review. It really does help the channel. Thanks so much.